Boruto's Jougan could make its manga debut in chapter 4, and the hints to back this theory are completely insane. The final panel of the last chapter has multiple clues for the debut of the Pure Eye. So let's understand all of them alongside figuring out why the debut might even get delayed. So far, every chapter of 2 Blue Vortex has ended on a really jaw-dropping note, with the first chapter concluding with Boruto's entry, second chapter showing the Uzuhiko Rasengan, and the latest cliffhanger having a mysterious panel of Boruto. Last month, I predicted the final page of chapter 3 could have the Jogan as a cliffhanger, and I guess Ikimoto has pulled it off in a way better manner. He has not only made us curious about Boruto's right eye, but also combined it with the detail, which has enhanced the likelihood of the Jogan appearing in the manga. I'm talking about this hand sign that was also used by Boruto when he activated the Jogan in the flash forward scene. It could be that he needs to use the hand signs to voluntarily activate the Jogan and will eventually become experienced enough to not need them. Here they have kept the right eye of Boruto hidden to not reveal the real big deal. However, the hand sign has already teased what's coming. So there are mainly two reasons for Boruto to use this power right at this stage, along with a few more hints to conclude the earlier use of this power. First and foremost, he could be using this power to trace the 10 tails and teleport to the dimension to which Code has fled. It could be like Aida's Senringan combined with the power of teleportation. The second reason could be to keep an eye on the 10 tails and what Code is doing to him. In this way, he is able to clearly plan his next move and act according to the actions of his enemy. This would mean that Jogan helps him to look around the world in real time, but with some exceptions. Unlike Aida, Boruto needed to locate the 10 tails with his toads before he could look at him with the pure eye. Maybe that's why he needs to use the hand signs to activate this power. Currently, he appears to be in the process of mastering this ability. The moon resemblance that these eyes share also hint at them having similar abilities. As for why I think Boruto might teleport to Code's dimension, is because we have seen the Jogan using such power in the anime before. So Boruto activating the pure eye to shift himself to Code's place is a really huge possibility. Also in the anime, it was revealed that the Jogan can hear voices of people, which is how Boruto teleported back to his friends. And an interesting parallel can be drawn in this scenario as well. When Code invaded Konoha, Boruto heard him talking to Sarada, and that's how he made his entry with the Jogan. He must have been keeping an eye on the village to ensure its safety, which explains his perfect timing. As for the 10 tails dimension, I think he traced it with the help of his toads, and now he's about to go there and spoil Code's plan. He could either be sensing the chakra of his toad, or maybe the Jogan only needs to hear about the location in order to activate the clairvoyance. It could even be that Boruto had left a toad in Konoha to keep an eye on everything, and that's how he returned at the right time, similar to when Amado used the toads of Koji to spy on Ishiki. Another mystery revolves around Boruto and how he met Kashin Koji. While it's pretty much clear that their alliance is a retelling of Naruto and Jiraiya's legacy, Boruto could be the prophecy child of this generation, with Kashin Koji following the mighty fate of Jiraiya. The predestined genes of Koji made him cross paths with Boruto again in order to save the world from Code. It was even revealed in the last chapter that Code had tried to destroy the planet a few years before, so Koji being the Jiraiya of Boruto in his war against Code makes a lot of sense. But how exactly did they meet at first place? I think a reunion of the legendary Sanins is about to happen in 2 Blue Vortex. Koji, after escaping from the Ishiki fight, must have went to Orochimaru's hideout. The destiny of genes must have pulled Koji to Orochimaru cause he was a close ally of Jiraiya back in the day. What's more interesting is that Orochimaru was the sensei of Sasuke, so it's very likely that Sasuke must have taken Boruto to his hideout where he met Kashin Koji. Moreover, Orochimaru must be interested in knowing more about Koji after sensing Jiraiya's chakra from him. It would build an interesting dynamic between Amado and Orochimaru, as he would get curious about the Otsutsuki technology and knowledge possessed by the scientist. So could it be that Koji is responsible for the Jogan awakening of Boruto? Well, there are some hints which connect Shibai to Kashin Koji, so it's definitely a possibility. As we know, the character of Shibai Otsutsuki was inspired by the Hindu god Shiva. Shiva is also known as the Lord of Kashi, and Kashi refers to his residing place. The name Kashin is probably derived from the same place, which could hint at a potential connection between the two. It could be that Koji knows the place where the remains of Shibai are concealed, so maybe he revealed them to Boruto, and upon absorbing them, he awakened the divine powers such as the Jogan and the Uzuhiko. The fact that he worked with Amado all these years enhances the possibility of him having Otsutsuki knowledge. We shouldn't forget, if Boruto has activated the Jogan in this scene, then he must have already awakened it in the time skip period, and that's where the flashback arc comes into play. It seems like Kishimoto deliberately used this panel as the cliffhanger in order to take us to Boruto's rogue period. The preview for chapter 4 says what happened to Boruto who had left the village in the past. This means we might be getting a flashback arc from this chapter, and while I have created a full video on this topic, here is how I want the Jougan to make its most awaited manga debut. The hint for the jaw-dropping awakening of the Jougan takes us back to the 8th anime episode where a superhero named Kagemasa was introduced. This fictional character was said to have the special power known as the Evil Eye, which literally stopped time just like Momoshiki. What's interesting is that there was actually a real person in ancient Japan known as Gonkoro Kagemasa. The fun fact about him was that he had lost one of his eyes during the Gosanen War of Japan, implying his legacy in Boruto's case. Since he has already lost one of his eyes against Kawaki, it could be that he awakened the Jougan in the middle of a serious battle. And this brings us to the time when Code was trying to destroy the planet. The Pure Eye must have prevented such occurring by helping Boruto in delaying the plans of Code. The reason I think Jougan prevented the plans of Code rather than helping Boruto in defeating him is because of this statement from chapter 2 where Code says Boruto was too helpless against him in the last fight. This means he had an upper hand against Boruto when they fought last time, and that's why he had to escape the battlefield. But why didn't he continue to destroy the planet, which was apparently his original plan? Was killing Boruto more important than destroying the planet which is dear to him? How was he motivated to search for him all these years, even though he could have done a lot of evil things to drag him out, like killing his close ones out of blue or even starting a shinobi war? Well, this is where the Jougan joins the game. I believe the Pure Eye is an omnipotent power, and every such shinjutsu has a will of its own. It also explains why the Jougan activated without intent several times in the anime. It has a mysterious will of its own, and the hints to back this theory are completely mind-blowing. Remember how omnipotence kept on manifesting the desires of Aida subconsciously? Well, that's not even the real deal here. The more amazing part lies within Sarada and Sumire, who somehow got mysteriously immune from this power. They were not only unaffected from Aida's charm, but also the reality-shifting twist as well. To cover up their secret immunity, the immune duo told Aida that they are still infatuated by her charm, but for some reasons, omnipotence didn't work on them. So how is it connected to divine powers having their own will? Well, I believe the shinjutsu of Aida looked way ahead in time, and here is what I mean by that. When she made the whole world her captive, Sumire and Sarada were left out for some unknown reasons. It was later revealed that they played a huge role in saving the protagonist Boruto from facing the worst future. The future that was predicted by Momoshiki to shatter him completely, leading to the monster taking his identity forever. However, it never happened because Momoshiki never saw the help of Sarada coming. The reason they both stayed immune could be because Aida didn't want any rivalry in love, which manifested into reality. If omnipotence had affected Sarada and Sumire, then they both would have fallen in love with Kawaki. Aida didn't know of this fact, but her divine ability took care of the issue. So the omnipotence seems to have a will of its own, which foresees the future to adjust the manifestation level of the user's wish. In conclusion, the divine powers seem to have a will of their own, and Jougan is no exception to this. It must have activated when Boruto was suffering a helpless situation which had literally no way out. It could have then teleported him to a safer place out of blue, which led to Code searching for him relentlessly. But what if it was the Pure Eye which changed the mind of Code? We know he wasn't immune to omnipotence, cause he shifted his whole focus from Kawaki to Boruto. But it can't be ignored that he had tried to destroy the planet at least once. So what could have made him go after Boruto instead of wreaking massive havoc? Some of you may say he needed Kawaki for the Ten Tails ritual. That's why he changed his plans of wreaking havoc. However, he could have easily omitted the plan of harvesting the chakra fruit of earth for his mighty mission of becoming an Otsutsuki god. Once he had destroyed the planet, it was all over for Boruto in one way or another, but he still chose to find and kill him. Well, I think the Jougan could have amplified Code's desire of seeking Ishiki's revenge. As we have seen it tracing negative emotions in the anime, there is a good amount of chance that it has the power of manipulating the emotions of other people. In this way, Boruto not only got some good amount of time to prepare himself for a final round, but also learned to use this power at will. Just as we can see in this panel, the right eye is most likely lit with the Jougan, and the hand sign is an activation gesture of this eye. I have even discussed Boruto's connection to the Uzumakis and why his new mentors are neither Koji nor Sasuke in these videos. So make sure to check them out and subscribe for more amazing content. I will see you next time.